Is this the most degen DEX that I ever found on any blockchain? Probably it is. SilverSwap is one of the biggest DEXs on Sonic. I never covered it on my past videos, but they're making waves. But on today's video, we're gonna focus on SilverSwap's main features, especially the auctions, also their native token AG, which currently is trading at 80 cents, and also the fact that they're one of the few DEXs that have a Perpetuals exchange, which at this point in time on Sonic, it's not all that common. So far, I only knew of SpookySwap having it, and I came across now SilverSwap, so it's definitely also one of its standout features. And that's exactly what we are exploring on today's video. All of SilverSwap's key features that make it stand out from all of the other DEXs. Let's dive in. As of today, Sonic's TVL has passed the $1 billion mark, incredibly bullish. So even with the recent dip from Bitcoin from 100k to 80 something k, we don't see Sonic actually dipping down. I mean, pretty much only goes up. Truly bullish blockchain. When it comes to protocol rankings, we can find SilverSwap in the 36th position, so they're very far from the top 10, but their TVL it's still under $1 million, currently at 735,000. They claim to be the first premium DEX on Sonic that offers fully novel tokenomics, a burn-centric design, unmatched swap speeds, and the most effective and high-yielding liquidity provision options. I gotta agree with that 100%. I've never seen mechanics like this in any DEX. The auction system, it's definitely its standout feature that makes it to break apart everything else in the DEX's playground on Sonic. This is a Twitter post from Insider Sonic, and it just shows that the top projects by 7-day volume right now have SilverSwap in it. It's actually the 5th, with $17 million in volume for the past week. And by the way, all of these protocols are DEXs. I covered some of them already. This is another post, although older, from April 1st. Sonic Up on X posted this, the top 5 Sonic DEXs with highest trading volume in the past month. And once again, SilverSwap is ranking here. They're ranking 5th with over 155 millions in volume and over $886,000 in DEX's TVL. So they are definitely, when it comes to performance right now, one of the top DEXs on Sonic. And if you look at the TVL and compare it with all the others, I mean, they must be doing something right, because they're not even breaking into the $1 million mark, on TVL, but all of the others in comparison, they're mostly in already the millions mark and double digits. WAGMI, they're still very close to $10 million. So definitely the underdog here in the mix seems to be SilverSwap. So let me just start with audits. Safety is one of the primary concerns in crypto, and SilverSwap does have an audit from Hashlock. This was released on December of 2024. So far they came up with 3 reports from Hashlock, and all of them came out with the secure rating. Secure rating means that after Hashlock's audit, there were initially identified some significant vulnerabilities, but since they have been addressed. Although I do want to highlight here the caution note, this applies for every smart contract audit, by the way. Hashlock's audits do not guarantee a project's success or ethics and are not liable or responsible for security. I say this because I've seen countless projects hacked or rugged in the past while having audits. And even from big names, big companies, you probably heard about Certic. I've seen a number of protocols audited by Certic being rugged. Now, I'm not saying that's the case here. Of course, this is not Certic, this is Hashlock, but it's something that I think everyone should have present in their minds. So in this case, they found 5 low severity vulnerabilities and 1 gas optimizations. All of them have been addressed since. On the next report, they found 2 medium issues and 2 gas optimizations, which also have been addressed since. And the same thing for the final report, 3 high severity vulnerabilities, 6 low and 6 gas optimizations. Once again, all vulnerabilities initially identified are currently resolved or acknowledged. A quick overview of SilverSwap's supply details shows us that its native token has a max supply of 10 million of AG or silver tokens. It has a daily emission of over 2,739 with an emission runway to go over 9 years. Now from all of this, 5% of the total supply is allocated for the team, which includes also marketing and farms. So this makes overall the silver token not to be inflationary. When it comes to utility of the token, it's pretty much going to be tied down to the auction mechanics, allowing users to bid into the auctions and to earn a substantial amount of the protocol's fees. So if you want to hit the jackpot, so to say, you need to bid into those auctions with the AG token. Also, one of the most enticing aspects of SilverSwap comes with the fact that liquidity providers here are able to earn 90% of the swap fees produced on the DEX. The remaining 10% will be split between the auctions. 8.5% of the generated fees will go that route, and 3.3% will be towards giveaways, team share 1.2%, and overall this 10% is referred to as DEX fees. So it's very generous when it comes to allowing liquidity providers to take the vast majority of the fees being generated on the protocol. So this mimics actually what's happening on Sonic, because Sonic is also a blockchain with a similar model for revenue sharing. They allow protocols to earn up to 90% of the fees being generated by them on Sonic. This is a very simple but powerful way to incentivize users to provide liquidity on SilverSwap. It's just a different model than what other DEXs are using, and also what the current meta of DEXs is allowing. Usually for users or liquidity providers to earn a substantial amount of fees, they need to have some amount of the native token of the protocol and then go and lock it for significant amounts of time. Not with SilverSwap. Their model is completely different when it comes to that. So in my opinion, this is definitely a very powerful model and also quite innovative, especially if we tie it up with the auction systems that we will touch upon later on in the video. Also do note that all DEXs generated fees from swaps. This is the referred 10% that we just mentioned, right? Those are to be converted to one of two tokens, either Silver or AG, or the wrapped network token in the case S. This means that all fees are creating a continual cycle of buy pressure on whichever token is selected for conversion. The SilverSwap team can switch which token fees are converted to at their discretion. And just considering that they can keep on buying their native token, that will just guarantee that as the DEX operates as usual, fees are being created, and 10% of those fees will be used to continuously put buy pressure on their native token, which can lead to substantial price appreciation over time and even to counter potential market dumps at specific times. So all in all, very interesting model that SilverSwap team has created here. What SilverSwap offers is token swapping as any DEX, also yield farms, where you can deposit your liquidity pool tokens and start earning their native token AG, essentially unlocking some further yields on top of the fees that the liquidity pools will give you. You can also bridge. They have integrated the bridging from Rhino.fi. It is a very reliable one if you're wondering, and they also offer concentrated liquidity pools. And by the way, I haven't mentioned it so far, but you can also farm Sonic airdrop points here. When it comes to providing liquidity, you can select two types of pools, manual or smart position, but it's always good to have options, and you have the option to set it up manually here. Even as a beginner, I do think that it's better for users to start getting accustomed with manual positions and setting things themselves, because smart position, essentially what it does is that it leaves your funds to be managed by a third party. Not only that brings more risk to the table, because you'll have smart risk contract on top of operating with, in this case, SilverSwap, right? So you have the issue or the potential issue that the entity managing that position to suffer some kind of hack or exploit that can impact users' funds. That's something not unheard of, and that's why I'm bringing this out so that you understand the full picture here. Now, they are managed by Steer, which is quite a reputable protocol. In case you never heard of it before, this is it. And this is actually a post from February the 12th where they talk about their smart pools. So you see, this protocol is used quite a lot and by very reputable DEXs, for example, QuickSwap, Camelot, SushiSwap, just to name a few. So I'm not going to go through the whole process, but this is the first thing you need to choose if you want to have your position managed for you manually or by Steer through their smart position vaults. Once you choose what it fits you, you'll see that there's going to be more steps in the way. Now you need to select the token pair, then you need to set up amount and range and then confirm. While if you choose the smart position, you then just need to select the token pair. Then they'll show you the available smart pools. There's going to be different different strategies for each, and those translates obviously in different APRs. Now, in case you're completely new to this, don't look at the highest APR and go for it just because it's more juicy. I mean, it is higher and it will potentially get you higher yields, but at the same time, potentially you can suffer from impermanent loss. And also in the long run, it might not prove to be as rewarding as a lower APR because highly likely it will go out of range more often, especially if you're looking at a very volatile market conditions. You can also click strategy details to get more in-depth understanding of what you're doing, but once you commit with one, you just need to set the amount you want to deposit, and once you confirm, you just need to sit back and see the yield to just accumulate over time. As you can see here, the strategy will automatically adjust positions to optimize returns. Usually these type of vaults also do involve auto compounding, making it a completely hands-off way to see your position increase over time. But again, it comes with the risk of impermanent loss because since this strategy is automatic, it will at times lock in permanent loss. And when it does, impermanent loss becomes permanent. Okay, now let's move on to auctions. I mean, when you go here on swap, they slam this snatch auction in your face. This is one of the two types of auctions that they do have, and the auctions actually are tied up with their burn mechanics. And there are three main systems that create cyclical burning of their AG token within the SilverSwap ecosystem, and those three main systems are nothing but Snatch and Flare. Both are integrated in the auctions. And then there's the giveaway. Auctions are the primary system with which SilverSwap uses to initiate burning of AG token. Auctions are the backbone of SilverSwap ecosystem, allowing users to become the DEX. This is very powerful, as you will see in a second. Auctions operate on 12-hour cycles. In them, users can bid their AG tokens in increments starting at 0.1 AG and above, but very important, not anyone can be an auction participant. Users must have any amount of liquidity deployed on SilverSwap. So there's no minimum, there's no maximum. As long as you have some liquidity deployed, then yeah, you can take part in the auctions. Now there's two types of options, Snatch and Flare. Snatch allows users to earn 42.5% of the DEX's fees earned from individual liquidity pools on SilverSwap. Auction participants may bid and win on as many Snatch events as they would like in the 12-hour auction period. So that's one of the things of the auctions. They happen in a 12-hour period. So you see here the Snatch auction has 9 hours and 4 minutes of time remaining. And then you can see here the pool name, the volume it has generated, and also the fees in the shape of the AG token. So in the case of Snatch, as an example provided here on the docs, they have Bob who bids and wins the Snatch for pool XY, and let's say that pool has earned 12k worth of fees in the last 12 hours. Then Bob wins the auction and earns 42.5% of those 12k, equal to $5,100 paid out in the silver token. Then there's the Flare auctions. Unlike Snatch, auction participants here only may bid and win on one Flare event in the 12-hour auction period, as only one flare may occur every 12 hours. Also, Flare allows users to directly utilize 42% of all SilverSwap DEX fees into the automated buyback on the token of the user's choosing. So there's different mechanics between these couple of auctions. Snatch is an auction that operates with individual liquidity pools, and Flare actually addresses all of SilverSwap DEX's fees, not just a single liquidity pool. It's everything bundled in. And then the user who won this, they get to utilize all the 42% of the fees the DEX has generated to buy back a token of the user's choosing. In the example here, they show Alice bidding and winning the Flare auction. And in the case of global DEX fees earned $71,000 in 12 hours, then Alice gets to initiate a buyback worth of $30,175 on the chosen token. So this can be potentially quite interesting for protocols who want to buy back their tokens, or even users. If you are bullish about a specific token, you have a big bag, potentially you can use these Flare auctions also to put some buy pressure on that token. So this is actually why I was saying in the beginning, if SilverSwap is the most degen exchange, and probably it is. I mean, these features are very interesting. When it comes to innovation, definitely very innovative, and that's a beautiful thing about DeFi and even Sonic, because Sonic is potentiating all of this due to their fee revenue model, which then also allows protocols to be more generous with users. So it's a whole cycle, things go hand in hand, you see. Now the third burning mechanism is happening through the giveaway. And the giveaway allows users to burn AG tokens, silver tokens, for the opportunity to win a weekly giveaway of accumulated DEX fees. 3% of all DEX fees are accumulated over the course of a 7-day period. These fees are then distributed to one user who is participating in that week's giveaway. To participate in that, users must burn one silver token. If you burn multiple, that will increase the level of participation in that period's giveaway. So it's basically buying a lottery ticket. Again, this is a mechanic that I never seen in a DEX. It reminds me of ROI dApps that were all the rage like 3-4 years ago. So although this is a different model generating revenue, it does definitely add some novelty to it, because it's unlike everything else that I ever seen in DEXs. And I did cover a lot of DEXs so far here on the channel. So for example, you can come here on the Snatch auction page, and then you can just browse through all of the auctions ongoing. Each liquidity pool will generate a specific amount of fees that will be used to buy the silver token. That's what you can see right now. And when it comes to the Snatch auction, you can bid away into all of these pools if you want. And it's also a very clever way to put some buy pressure into the silver token by using directly the fees generated by the protocol. So that's a really clever mechanic that SilverSwap introduces. And of course, as Sonic drives in more users and more users also interact with SilverSwap, the more fees it will generate, the bigger the pot will be for each liquidity pool. So this can definitely drive in user engagement. Now this is about Snatch. Let's go and check Flutter. So these are the available auctions, and the winning bid will determine to which token the buyback amount will be directed. And again, the buyback is going to be supported by 42% of the overall DEX's generated fees. Now SilverSwap also has farms. Once you commit to a specific of the liquidity pools showed here under in the farms, you can bring your LP tokens, stake them, and that will earn you additional passive rewards on SilverSwap paid in the shape of the silver token AG. All of these tokens will be in a way crucial for the overall working of the exchange, and that's why they're being incentivized by farms here, just like with any other DEX that has yield farms for users to take advantage of. It's just a way for protocols to incentivize liquidity by attracting users to their ecosystem. Now these are the key features of SilverSwap, with special highlight for the auctions, but they also have some integrated bridge. It's also a reliable way if you want to bridge funds to Sonic, you can use Rhino.fi. It's a reputable protocol, but also do note the Perpetuals DEX. Perpetuals basically allows you to play with leverage. This is a feature that it's not all that common in decentralized exchanges. Some will offer this, usually only the bigger ones will offer Perpetuals contracts, but this is actually a feature that helps SilverSwap to stand out even further alongside with the auctions. For example, from all of these other DEXs that we just mentioned, I don't think any of this has Perpetuals exchange. And on SilverSwap Perpetuals liquidity pools, you can also be a liquidity provider. In that case, you will absorb both trader performance, either it be positive or negative, and a part of all trading fees. Nonetheless, this is also an option for users to provide liquidity and earn some passive income by supporting SilverSwap's Perpetuals liquidity pools. And let me quickly add in case you're looking for a community of like-minded people where you can learn more about yield farming, generating passive income, I can vouch for the Underdog Investor Group. I am affiliated with them, but I think they bring real value. They have many models, actually the 3 you can see right now on screen, from which you can take value from. There will be different perks to each of them, so you can choose from this bunch in order to have something that fits your needs, what you're looking for, so you can start generating some crypto passive income ASAP. There's a lot of free content out there, not only on my channel, but if you're willing to put some money to speed up your DeFi learning, I think this is a really good place to go, so go check it out and then decide if it's the thing for you or not. If you use my referral link down below, it will get you 20% off on your first month. Okay guys, that's about it for SilverSwap. Do you agree with me? Do you think this is the most degen DEX you ever come upon? If so, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think it's really innovative. It's a really interesting project. It's definitely a breath of fresh air when it comes to DEX's mechanics. And that's the beauty of DeFi. Anyone can come up with a protocol, implement their ideas, and if you are creative, I mean, you can generate this type of mechanics, this type of design, and potentially generate more revenue through your protocol. So very interesting stuff happening here with SilverSwap. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, also write them down below. I'll get back to you. That being said, like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Thank you for watching. I'm going to wrap this one up and I'll see you on the next one.